it didn't appeal. Kids things don't automatically appeal to me.
No.
And
weird, isn't it?
It's weird, yeah. Hello, Els. How are you?
I'm not great, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm feeling...
Now you know how I feel for about 50% of the ones that we've recorded.
Yeah, I'm feeling I'm under the weather.
Under the weather.
Yeah, I like to think that I sound a little bit sexy, but I
think
don't think
you sound
I do.
the same, if
Right,
that helps. So
okay.
if you could just make yourself a little bit more chipper, then
Yeah, okay.
imagine that I'm the one saying that to you as well.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right.
How are you?
Yeah, fine, thanks. Yeah.
Good. You've just come from your research, haven't you?
I was watching a bit of Horrible Histories while I waited for you to set up. I don't know if I'd call it research. Then I had a piece of toast.
Gory stories, we do that. And your hosts are talking rats. The past is no longer a mystery. Welcome to Horrible Histories.
So why are we doing Horrible Histories?
Because I woke up one morning after you'd asked me what I wanted to do, and I think it was the morning. Maybe it wasn't. That Ghosts. They announced that Ghosts wasn't returning after the 5th series.
Could be.
And it reminded me of Horrible Histories, and I don't know why I'd forgotten, and I don't know why I hadn't thought of us doing it sooner.
I thought it was kind of like an obvious one, and for that reason we were leaving it until later.
I genuinely hadn't thought about it.
Oh.
I'd just forgotten that it existed.
I just kind of assumed that we were always going to do it, but...
Well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are. One of the reasons is because I fancied an easy week. I didn't want to do any research, and this is the one that I have done the least research for.
Well, you don't need to do any... I mean, let's just clarify something for people at home, right? I love Horrible Histories, but Elsie loves Horrible... Like, she lives and breathes.
Yeah, you
so,
say...
like, she embodies Horrible Histories.
You say this, but when we moved in together... The two of us did go through quite an intense phase of watching Horrible Histories, Yonderland, Bill and Ghosts.
Yes, we did.
We were in that together. You can't deny that.
No, we were in that together. I'm not denying that. But you were in it before I was. It wouldn't have happened to me had it not happened to you.
That's true.
It was your influence.
I spent a very long time trying to convince Meg to watch Yonderland. And finally, I sat her down physically and made her watch it.
No, we watched Yonderland when you were at uni. We watched it.
I know.
Oh, I thought that you were saying.
But
that
I did coerce you into it, though.
Yeah, Elsie has coerced me into watching a lot of things, and most of the time, I really enjoy them.
But Yonderland is something special.
Yonderland I loved. IT Crowd I hated. I mean,
yeah.
you can't hit the bullseye every time. But Yonderland is, I mean...
It's kind of trendy to hate IT Crowd in light of recent events, so that's fine.
If I am having a bad day, Yonderland is what I want to watch.
It's like the first thing
It's just so good.
Weirdly, for me, it's another Ben Wilbon vehicle. The Thick of It is what I watch when I'm in a bad mood because I find it very cathartic.
Yeah.
We should explain for people that... well, I don't have Sky, but for other people that don't have Sky, Yonderland was a show made by the 6 main actors of Horrible Histories.
Yes.
Like, we will mostly be talking about Horrible Histories, but, you know...
It's not... It's important to note that it isn't their only project.
Yeah.
Like, they're this kind of, I guess... I don't want to say comedy troupe, but, like... group of really good creators was born as a product of Horrible Histories. Special mention to Lawrence Rickard, who's not even an actor.
Yeah, so...
Who was roped in on accident and now does acting.
Since when have you started saying on accident?
On accident.
On accident.
I thought it would be funny. But instead you picked me up on it like I did grammar wrong.
Well, you didn't.
I've done some grammar wrong, innit?
You didn't do grammar wrong, you just did grammar different.
By accident.
By accident, yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. Yeah, Larry Rickard, as he will henceforth be named. Lasbatron on Twitter. He was one of the writers on Horrible Histories, and if you go back to season 1, you'll notice he's not in that many sketches at all. And he was the one that wrote the Bob Hale sketches, which I'm not going to bother to explain. I'm going to do very little. I'm going to try and do very little explaining in this episode and just assume knowledge.
The Bob Hale sketches are like
All right.
are like the weather, but with her historical events. It's like a weatherman doing historical. That's it.
Yeah, it's like almost a stand-up set by a weatherman.
Yeah,
and he wrote it, and because it was so many lines, he was the only one that actually could memorize it. So they said, you do it. So he did. He had to.
Yeah.
And then he just ended up getting put in more and more sketches until he became part of the core 6 actors. And now, 10, 11, 12 years on in Ghosts, I think he gives one of the greatest performances as Robin in comedy history. I think he's a fantastic actor.
You've either got it or you don't.
He's drowning in the sauce.
Yeah.
And being emperor is a great job. There's banquets and power and helicopters and money, except not helicopters. And it's so great that everyone wants to be one. People start queuing up to be next. And if they get bored of queuing, then they just kill the current emperor and take over, like this. Brilliant. Until someone kills them, and then someone kills them, and then, well, you get the picture. There's a lot of dead emperors. In fact, if we look at the emperometer, we can see that in 193 AD, there were 5 different emperors in just 1 year. Ooh, with a whopping 6 in the year 238 AD. And between 238 and 285 AD, there were no less than 25 different Roman emperors. 25! And their names were Gordian, and Maximus, and Balbinus, and Gordian, and Decianus, and Sapertecatanius, and Iatopapanius, and Siculacmacanus, and Nuelatulagetelarina Macarena, Guitelahe Palaligareto Blina.
So, Horrible Histories.
Horrible Histories.
2009, but it was books first.
Yeah. I never read the books.
I never read the books.
Our housemate read the books.
Yeah, my school was filled with a lot of the books, but I never fancied picking them up and reading them.
No, because I liked the nice kids, like the hair and the lavender field. Yeah, I liked those. I also didn't like history as a kid.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I dropped it at year 9.
Well, you're not mad on it now.
No, not really.
You did geography.
I enjoy Greg Jenner's podcast, but apart from that...
Oh, yeah.
Another thing, if product...
So Greg Jenner, the loveliest man on Twitter, he is a historian.
Although, actually, I would like to point out, Greg Jenner, if you're listening to this now, you used to teach at my uni, and in my final year of uni, I sent you an email, and you have never replied to me, even though you've got a uni email. Check them once in a while, please.
Is he still there?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I've not bothered checking, but did piss me off, not gonna lie, mate.
So shall we talk about, the people? So it was created by Dominic Brigstock and Caroline Norris, who are directors and producers of lots of kids' stuff.
Yeah.
And the his story...
Was it Caroline Norris that named them Zooks?
From Bamzooki. Yeah. She's got fingers in many pies.
Yeah.
So Greg Jenner was the historical consultant.
Yes.
So he's like a guy that is good at comedy and knowing lots of comedy people and is also very learned.
Yeah.
He's like the perfect guy to do that and also to run the podcast that he runs.
And he's in some of the sketches, I think, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he does everything.
So the main cast are Martha Howe Douglas.
Hello and welcome to the news at When 1789, and the peasants in France have grown tired of being poor and hungry, while King Louis XVI and his rich friends live in luxury.
Guard! Arrest this man!
On what charge?
Not wearing a woolly hat.
You're not wearing a woolly hat.
I have passed a law stating that everybody should wear woolly hats on Sundays. It is to support the English wool trade.
RADA trained, by the way.
RADA trained Martha Howe
Weird
Douglas.
to know when you see the kind of stuff that she does.
When you go to RADA and then you realise that your job's much more fun than that.
Well, I was listening to an interview with Ian Kirkby, who played Harry Batt in Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
Right.
Recently, and he's RADA trained, and you see the kind of shit they do on the bungalow, and it's like, do you think he ever thought?
The thing is, having done drama qualifications, we know that most of it is pretentious bullshit and it's perfect for kids' TV.
Yeah. Honestly, that pretentious bullshit is like a really good grounding.
Yeah.
So
you're not better than anyone else. We will throw these sticks around for no apparent reason.
We will walk around the space covering all areas.
We will pretend to be a deck of cards. Cool.
That was a lot of deck of cards work. Yeah. Ben Wilbond.
Thanks, Sam. You join me right outside the Bastille, France's most infamous prison, where a large mob of very angry Frenchmen has gathered.
We are very angry.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yes, they used to belong to the Pope, but now they're mine since I set up this new church, Church of England. Yeah, it's a long story. Anyway, they are chock full of stuff I no longer need, dusty old books, monks and so forth, so I thought I'd have a clear out and see if I couldn't raise some cash.
Can I just point out here that I have 3 people on notification alert on Twitter, or 3 accounts. One is Lion and Unicorn Theatre.
Okay.
One is Jay Foreman, and one is Ben Wilbond. Because I just want to read all those tweets.
Well, Ben Wilbond is a good one to have on Twitter notifications because it's not constant.
It's not constant.
It's every so often.
And it's normally something very nice that he tweets.
Yeah. He's a lovely man. He was one of those, like, Oxbridge-y review kind of, like, that's where his comedy background is, like, in sort of fringe review shows and stuff.
But it's okay to like him because private school ruined him. I'm all right with you keeping that in as well.
One of them that got scarred by private school instead of was made insufferable. Yeah. I don't think he'd mind us saying that.
No, because I think it's true. I'm sorry, Bennett.
Yeah.
I think
Are you okay?
Sounds like you had a rough time, to be honest, mate.
Matt Bainton.
Hello, I'm Thomas Fariner, a baker from 1666, and I've cooked a lot of things in my time. But now, I'm going to show you the thing I'm most famous for. Yes, today, I'm going to show you how to cook London.
My name is Charles II. I love the people and the people love me so much that they restored the English monarchy. I'm part Scottish, French, Italian, a little bit Dane, but 100% party animal. Champagne!
Yeah.
So his background was like training in clowning, I think. Yeah. He went to like one of the fancy abroad clown schools. I don't know if it was like France or Russia or whatever.
I think it was the one in Paris, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gory.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was actually. I'm not sure. The phone comes out. So while she's Googling that, Larry Rickard, we've done him. Jim Howick.
Hi, I'm a shouty man, and I'm here to tell you about New Victorian Child, the chimney cleaning revolution. New Victorian Child cleans even the most difficult of bends.
As true king, my reign began, though I was now older than your nan. And as the ruler of our nation, I banned my wife from my coronation. And knowing now that I did hate her, she promptly died just 3 weeks later. But all those pies that I got through meant 10 years later I died too.
Oh, love Jim Howitt.
Every single line delivery. I mean, he's one of those that like manages to find the funniest way to deliver every single line.
What did you say?
What clown school did you go to?
Gaulier. Philip
Oh,
Gaulier.
he did go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue. Sorry, I interrupted.
No,
Continue.
that's okay. And I'm leaving Simon Farnaby till last because where do you even begin with Simon Farnaby?
Well, we can begin.
Stupid deaths, they're funny 'cause they're true. Woo! Stupid deaths, hope next time it's not you.
I mean, any old emperor can defeat the Carthaginians, but it takes a special kind of emperor to take on a god. Just think of the history books. Oh, do you remember that Caligula? Oh, yes. Wasn't he the one that took on that god? No one's going to forget that in a hurry.
Well, we can begin with saying that yesterday there was news for the move ahead of the Paddington 3 film.
That's right. Yeah, so you watch like old British comedies and he has like an episode in them.
He cameos in a lot of things.
He's in The Mighty Boosh a couple of times and he's written a lot of comedy films. He's and he's the writer of Paddington, and I think, well, the co-writer.
Co-writer, yeah.
A film which was snubbed for best anything, really, but screenplay especially, I think.
I mean, it is the best film.
It is.
It is.
I'm not saying that in a...
Sorry, Paddington 2.
Yes.
Is the best film.
I mean, Paddington 1 is good.
It's good, but
Paddington 2
is the best.
It's so good. It's like the fact that didn't get... I'm not saying it in a meme way. I'm saying it in like a genuine... It should have got more awards than it got.
Yeah,
that was the tightest screenplay.
Yeah. We watched it on my 22nd birthday, and that was the first time I watched it, and I'd started crying within the first 4 minutes of that film.
All it takes is a little bear cub.
Because I wasn't keen on watching it, and it didn't appeal. Kids' things don't automatically appeal to me.
No.
And
weird, isn't it?
It's weird, yeah, because then I really enjoy them, but so Elsie ended up like...
But this wasn't on your birthday. We chose to watch it on your birthday because you'd already seen it and you wanted to see it again.
That's true. When we watched it the first time,
I wouldn't make you watch something on your own birthday.
No, that's true. But yeah, the first time I watched it, I was sobbing within minutes.
And that wasn't even having seen the first one.
Exactly,
you don't need to. So those are the 6. Have I missed anyone out?
There are other people.
So Sarah Hadland.
Sarah Hadland's in it a lot.
Yeah. Dominique Moore.
Yes.
From your favourite Hotel Trouble.
Yeah. Elsie says my favourite. I don't remember anything about Hotel Trouble apart from the theme song, which I very frequently get stuck in my head.
I only remember one line from because
maybe I do, and that's
because
what goes
me and
around.
my brother and sister quote it quite a lot. There's like a couple of bits that I vaguely remember, but one bit that we say to each other all the time is denim and sushi. Ooh, I'll give it a whirl.
What?
So, yeah, he's trying different ice cream flavours, and denim and sushi is one. That's all I remember. I don't remember the context.
Frequently says one thing that me and my siblings quote to each other is, and she says it so often that it has prompted our other housemate to go, Elsie, do you and your siblings ever talk about anything original?
No, honestly.
Or is it all just quotes?
Well, the thing is, when you're very close in age and you've lived in the same house for about 18 years, you get a lot of in-jokes.
Yeah.
You know, you can't avoid it.
Fair enough.
So who else? Laurie Lewin is in a lot?
Yes, I love Laurie Lewin.
He's great.
Yes.
He's great.
He's really good. He looks like he's up for anything. Do you know what I mean?
He's here for a good time, not a long time.
He is. He's here for a good time.
And he wasn't there for a long time either.
No, but his presence was felt.
It was.
Yes.
It was. Who else? Katie Wicks.
Katie Wicks is in a lot, yeah. Alice Lowe.
Yeah, how could I forget Alice Lowe? She's in so much of it, and I adore Alice Lowe.
It's really hard because I'm looking at I've just clicked on cast, and it's not giving me the years because Gemma Whelan is credited, but I don't know she's not the original cast, is she?
Okay, so is this where we talk about the reboot?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you Google Horrible Histories, it will say everywhere that it only had 5 seasons. And that's because everything that came after was technically a special. So it wasn't rebooted as such. It just, like, every so often an episode purely about one specific monarch will come out, or one specific war or whatever, and that's got lots of like Rowan Atkinson is in one of them playing Henry VIII. Like, it's got a lot of famous actors, but not
you've got
not the ones we know.
Reece Shearsmith and Steve Pemberton and Mark Gatiss are in an episode.
No, they're in a lot of episodes.
Reece Shearsmith's only. Oh, actually, no, sorry, he's credited for 9, because they're the producers.
I'm here to pitch the movie of my discovery of America.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Columbus. Please take a seat.
No, I think you have me confused with someone else. I'm Leif Erikson.
Must be a nickname. Mine's Bubbles.
Is Leif Erikson short for Christopher Columbus?
No, it's long for Leif Erikson.
Christopher Columbus definitely discovered America.
In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He took with him honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note.
Think that's the owl and the pussycat?
You're right.
Talking animals. Get me Antonio Banderas and Eddie Murphy on the phone.
Eddie Murphy!
Mira Sayal is in some episodes because she's the storyteller, isn't she?
Yes.
So yeah, basically it's got all sorts of bloody people in it. Loads of people.
Yeah.
The cast is massive.
So before I knew what The League of Gentlemen was, and now it's one of my favourite shows of all time, but they reunited. The first time they ever reunited was on Horrible Histories.
Really?
In a specific sketch, they played 3 movie producers at in a boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mum pointing at Reece Shearsmith and saying, "That guy's from Hull," and it blew my little mind.
Oh, bless you.
I know. But yeah, they were fun. It had a lot of cameos from like comedians, like Al Murray is in, like Chris Addison was in a couple of sketches. But the core cast are so good and have such incredible chemistry that like it makes these really seasoned comedy actors look a little bit out of their depth even.
Yeah, bless.
Yeah, bless.
Bless them.
Good morning. This was a perfectly simple task. I asked you vegetables to take these turnips and turn them into cash. You lot, who was your project manager?
I was.
And what did you bring to the table, Wiggy?
I prefer the name the second Viscount Townsend.
No, I'm not impressed, Wiggy. I'm a lord. Answer the question.
Well, Lord Sugar, I'm a politician. I served for a decade as Secretary of State with responsibility for directing British foreign policy.
Was he a good project manager?
Might have been better, but
I hardly think so.
Actually, I've been in charge of all sorts of things.
Such as?
2 pigs, a goat died.
Boo-hoo. Right, that's enough of you, Wiggy. I'm sick of hearing from you.
I'd like to talk to you about Terry Deary, the author of the books, because he made, like, mostly non-speaking cameos, but he was in a couple of sketches. So the books were, like, very well loved, and they wanted to adapt them. This was in 2009. They wanted to adapt them into a TV show, and they had this idea of a ghost train. Like, some kids would be on a ghost train and they would encounter like different historical figures, and they were like, actually no, this isn't really working. And then they thought, well, it is a comic strip, the books, technically, let's just do a sketch show, it makes the most sense. And then someone, I think Caroline Norris probably, had the idea of casting people from adult British comedy, and I think that was
good idea.
It's the reason it succeeded, right?
Yeah.
Like in 2010, 2010, they won a British Comedy Award for Best Sketch Show, and it was the first ever kids show to win a British Comedy Award instead of a children's TV award.
Well, I guess part of the success of a lot of these things is creating something that is enjoyable to the parents as well as the children.
Yeah, because they repackaged it for BBC One with Stephen Fry taking the role of the rat.
Yeah.
Rattus.
And, well, the thing, parents have got to watch it as well, right? And the things that we're really talking about is the things that you might enjoy as well as an adult, right?
Or hate.
Because, I mean, I spend time around kids, and some of the shit that's on is awful. Like,
what's good at the moment?
I quite like the Paddington animation. That's cute. Yeah, because Ben Whishaw still voices Paddington.
Aww.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as the films. I don't think it's
that's
as good
order,
as
isn't it?
the original animation, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I hate?
What?
Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Can't stand it.
All cops are bastards.
All cops are bastards.
Including Paw Patrol.
Including Paw Patrol. But Horrible Histories really, really does stand out as something that adult... I mean, it had a proms.
It had a proms. Sorry, we were talking about Terry Deary and we got completely distracted.
Sidetracked there.
No, that's okay. I mean, while we're talking about the repackaging for BBC One and how they replaced Rattus with Stephen Fry, do we have anything to say about Rattus?
Well... I know the thing is, I can't take it away from you because Elsie has made an observation about Rattus, and I would love to say it, but I can't take it away from you.
Well, he has front-facing eyes, suggesting unlike other rodents, it suggests that he's a predator.
Yeah. Whereas a rat has side eyes, right?
Side eyes, yeah.
Eyes on the side,
like a horse.
Like a horse, yeah. But Rattus, he's coming for you.
And since I noticed that, like, looking at him, he's actually quite scary.
He is a bit scary.
He's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
And he's also, like, the least parent-friendly part of the show, I would have thought.
What? A talking puppet rat that's hosting it?
For his hugely important contribution to the agricultural revolution, the second Viscount Townsend was given a new title. He was known evermore as Turnip Townsend. Unlucky turnip. And the Georgian agricultural revolution led in turn to an industrial revolution, which not everybody was happy about.
I was watching an episode earlier where they're talking about the Neanderthals and Homo sapiens living side by side.
Yeah.
And in that sketch bit afterwards, when Rattus is doing the connecting commentary, he says that Homo sapiens are our... he says that Homo sapiens are our ancestors and that Neanderthals are your PE teacher's ancestors.
Yeah, children's TV really hates PE teachers.
So do I.
Yeah.
If any of my PE teachers from the school are listening to this, I hated you and I hate you now.
And why were you teaching the odd science lesson?
To prove their worth.
Oh.
Because they weren't teaching PE, were they? Kick that ball. It's not a lesson.
You say that, like, a puppet rat narrating a show is, like, naturally the least parent-friendly part of any piece of media, but may I direct you to Rizzo the Rat from Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, yes.
And Muppets Treasure Island. Rattus didn't have, like, a weird alien creature thing to bounce off of.
No, he's just standing there giggling to himself.
Yeah, Jim Henson
presumably in a sewer somewhere.
Jim Henson really got the formula right on that one, didn't he?
Yeah. But then again, the version with Stephen Fry where they get rid of Rattus, I didn't enjoy as much.
Oh, really?
Because I like the rat.
Oh, okay.
I found the rat really funny.
Aww, did you?
Yeah,
Aww.
I still find the rat really funny.
Which episode were you watching just now? What series?
Series
episode
1. 5 and 6, I think, or 6 and 7.
Okay. It's very strange to go back to series 1.
I paused it on I'm a knight, and I'm a knight. That one.
Yeah. The songs are like, well, we're gonna talk about the songs
obviously
on their own, but I want to talk about Terry Deary right now because
we've been trying to
I know we have. Yeah. Did you know that he's quite a controversial figure?
I do, but for the purposes of this podcast, no, Elsie, tell me all about it.
Okay. Well, no, tell me what you know.
That's all I know. I mean, I know he's controversial. I can't really remember why. So I'll let you.
Okay, great. So let me just get up these screenshots I took of a interview with Terry Deary. Okay, so this is from iNews. The author hits out at the quote-unquote particularly spiteful Lucy Worsley, thinks all teachers should be sacked, and says he'd leave ancient monuments to rot. Terry Deary blasts away the cobwebs with Eton Smallman. So I'm going to read you some little bits from this interview.
Okay.
Because famously he hates schools and libraries.
Right, that's all I really knew.
Yeah. Teachers obviously do not get it. Many insist on using his books in the classroom, yet the last thing Deary wants is for his tomes to be ranked alongside quote-unquote Neanderthals textbooks. School textbooks are utter dross and a waste of dead trees. They're criminal, he says. Adding once that he threatened to sue a teacher who came up declaring, I love your books. I use them in school all the time.
Drama queen.
He is a bit. The establishment has not received the message either. Deary has turned down invitations from the Queen and Prince Charles, and when he was asked to meet Tony Blair, he simply did not bother replying, saying, I believe the only person to have entered Parliament with honest intentions was Guy Fawkes.
Well,
he has such a way with words. Like there are so many quotes in this interview where it's like, "Whoa, that was strong," but I like half agree.
Yeah,
he's very against libraries, and that it's something to do with like it killing the book industry. Like he's like, you don't expect any other entertainment to be given to you for free. And I mean, I don't agree with...
Words coming from a really, really successful author who's managed to make a living from it, not realising that the vast majority of authors don't make their living from it because you don't really make that much money from books.
Yeah. Well, he was...
Idiots.
He was comparing how much money you can make from a bookshop versus a library. But, like, libraries aren't just for... Like, there's loads of reasons why libraries exist. And he was like, yeah, everyone that's sort of fighting to keep them alive is just being sentimental, basically.
Terry Deary hates poor people is what I'm hearing.
That's what I'm hearing.
I don't think poor people should be able to read.
I don't know,
That's why
man.
I did graphic novels.
But
Clearly you can't read either, Terry.
The thing about... saying that he'd leave ancient monuments to rot, that's a bit misleading in that headline. I'll read the full paragraph because I actually agree about this. Your local council might ask you, do you want to close a library or do you want to stop gritting in the winter? Egypt's got the same problem. Do you preserve the monuments or do you look after the starving and poor people on the streets of Cairo? And anyone who says that you've got to look after the pyramids has got a slightly warped sense.
No, I agree with that.
So you can see how that...
I agree with you, Terry.
Yeah, that headline is a little bit misleading.
People who are alive now are more important than things that were built ages ago.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, he's a controversial figure for many reasons.
You do close the libraries rather than gritting the streets. It's not ideal to have to choose, but some people have got the wrong priorities. I would say actually quite a lot of fucking people have got the wrong priorities.
Listen to this. So he's in this interview, he's like basically on a bit of an angry tirade.
Okay.
They call him like...
I had one of those yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just had a bad day.
Oh, okay, right, fine. So he's described as like warm and like cheerful, but also a bit cantankerous. Like he's like just an old man, basically. But listen to this. I wonder who his bête noire of the moment is. I only need to ask once to trigger an outburst. Lucy Worsley, her posh little voice... he says, mimicking the chief curator of the historic royal palaces. Her insistence on play acting and thinking her performances are actually quality drama. The fact that she's head of the royal palaces, which should all be left to rot anyway. I mean, I agree with the last bit.
What's wrong with Lucy Worsley? Come on.
Well, she's got a posh little voice, and her insistence on... I've said it, but...
Is she insisting, or is some producer somewhere going, it'll be a bit boring otherwise?
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't really like other historians.
You can't dunk on someone, so especially when someone's got a bit of a lisp. You can't be dunking on them. No, she does.
No, I know she does.
Yeah, you can't be dunking on people's voices. It sounds awful.
No, but you can if they're posh. That's punching up, right?
What did he call it?
Posh little voice.
Posh little voice. No.
Yeah, fine. Defend Lucy Worsley. I don't care either way. She seems like a nice woman. Yeah.
Well, you have founded a whole chain of cities from Greece to India.
Indeed I have.
And you named this one Alexandria.
Uh-huh.
And you named this one Alexandria, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Alexandria.
Yeah.
Alexandria.
Yeah.
And further east there's Alexandria.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's not forget Alexandria.
No. Well, that's the thing. I think it might be getting a bit confusing, don't you? Could we perhaps name this new one after someone else?
Okay. I am the greatest military commander that ever lived. I have conquered the known world, and I am barely 26 years old. Perhaps when you found your own city, you can name it after yourself. You could call it, Skinny Mandria. But since I'm founding them, I'd like to call it Alexandria. Okay.
Should we talk about the music? Wait, before we go on to talking about the music, I'm so sorry if my voice sounds disgusting at the moment. No. No.
All right, not sexy.
Thank you. It sounds gross.
Meg, just be honest.
I should be resting my voice because I've got my radio show to do in the morning.
That's 2 hours. You'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine.
And then you've got the rest of the day off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's nice for you.
I'll probably just end up editing.
Yeah, but I mean, at least it's not being at work.
Yeah. Do you know what you're having for tea yet?
Well, I've got two options. I've got pasta, because I've got some things to use up before Easter weekend, or get on the old Deliveroo, mate.
Well, you've got a third option now. I'm going to make a big old salad.
What kind
Do you
of
want
salad?
in on that?
What kind of salad?
I'm going to roast a bunch of vegetables. I've got this quinoa mix thing that I'm going to use to bulk it out. I'm going to make a tahini dressing.
Don't like tahini, but I might try it once you've done it.
All right,
and have a little nibble.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of tahini.
I might keep all this in.
Yeah?
I might do.
Yeah.
Shall I give my boss's tahini dressing recipe to everyone right now?
What is it? Tahini. Lemon juice.
Tiny bit of tahini.
Salt, pepper.
Water.
Water?
Yeah, because she said that if you add anything even slightly acidic to tahini without watering it down, it goes disgustingly thick. That's what she said.
Gotta put a bit more oil in your tahini, mate. Do you know what I hate about tahini?
No.
Having worked in the same place as you.
The tahini shop.
The tahini shop.
Yeah.
The tahini is sold in this sort of big plastic... It's like a plastic box with a tap, right?
Yeah.
And every couple of days or something, you've got to give the tahini a mix because the sediment settles in the bottom. And it sort of behaves the way corn flour mixed with water behaves. Like if I punched it, it would be solid. That's how it wouldn't be, but that's how it feels. And it's the messiest job. There's only one job messier in that shop, and that's if someone comes in and spills a load of oil everywhere. I
would
hate
say
mixing the
that
tahini.
dealing with flour is also quite messy.
Yeah, but it's dry.
Yeah, that's true. No, I find the tahini mixing fine because we have a drill, right? We have... Did you not have this?
No.
We have... Okay, we have a drill... And we put the mixer on the end. It's like a whisk thing on a stick. And we stick the whisk in the tahini and we turn the drill on.
Right, so basically, it's a better place to work now.
That drill was always there, but the boss that you had when you were there didn't bother using it and just wanted you to do it manually. That drill was always there.
I hated mixing that fucking tahini. I know that we're wasting time because it's already going to be a long episode, but I've just got to say, I hate the smell, I hate the taste.
But it's just sesame.
I like hummus, but it's I hate making it because I hate tahini. I hate getting it on my finger.
Well, you've got a jar of it in the house now.
My instinct when I get something on my fingers is to lick it off. Well, not all things. Not all things, Mum. Not all things.
Yeah, but have you... Hey, behave. Have you ever done that with something that you shouldn't have licked just by accident? What's the worst one? No, don't tell me the worst one, but tell me, just go on. Say what you were going to say.
The worst one wasn't an accident.
Right.
Hand sanitizer or anything like that.
You just rub it in. It's not, by definition, that's not dirt.
No, I'll tell you what it will have been. It will have been something like cleaning alcohol or something that I wasn't meaning to get on my hands.
Sure.
Or like some kind of cleaning product that I wiped off something and instinctively licked my thumb or something.
Imagine if a curse you were given by an evil fairy was just anything you got on your hands you had to lick off. So you couldn't ever put soap on your hands. Because you'd instantly lick it. Yeah. You'd have to live like a cat, just licking yourself clean.
Do you know those... You see TikToks and reels and stuff of the forbidden whatever. And do you know one thing I've always wanted to eat is so you'll know that I used to play the violin. I played it for many, many years.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, the rosin that you rub on your bow.
It looks like really fancy, boiled sweets.
Yeah, it does, and I would love to crunch down at it, but that thing is solid. It would take your teeth out.
Yeah.
But I would love to have a lick of that.
It's I
bet it tastes foul though.
Oh, it will do. I imagine
you
it
get
being
rosin dust in your mouth just by playing the violin.
I imagine it's chemically but sweet.
Yeah,
is how I imagine rosin to taste.
Yeah.
My colleague called fabric softener the forbidden milk the other day.
It does look like milk.
4 eager chefs, 4 historical eras, but just one prize. Who will be crowned historical master chef?
I want one of these historical chefs to cook some food for me and for me to really like it.
Anne is from the Stuart era and is head cook at a manor house in Yorkshire.
Excuse me, I can't figure out how this works. Where's the dog?
The dog?
Yeah, in our Stuart house, I cook meat over a fire on a spit, turned by a dog walking around a wheel.
Okay, people, 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes.
3 minutes.
2 minutes.
8 minutes. 8 minutes.
You're looking very relaxed, Anne.
11 minutes.
Okay, everyone, time's up. Stop cooking meals of food.
Should we talk about the songs?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I wanted to introduce a tangent into the works because weirdly, I feel like we're just going to have less to say about this one than we did MI High.
You never even finished telling me the tahini recipe because I went off about how I hate it.
Oh, you bet you got it. It was water, tahini, salt and pepper.
Oh.
Thanks, Mariam. Do you have a favourite Horrible Histories song?
Marcus Licinius Crassus.
Oh! It's a weird one, right? Because that's not one of the most famous ones.
It's, in my opinion, apart from maybe the one from the very first episode. What's it called? The Four
King Georges.
The Four King Georges.
Absolute classic.
Classic. Love it.
Yeah.
I was a hunk. Girls adored me, ladies all swooned before me. They would do anything for me, or I'd have their husbands killed.
Had a war with Prince Charles Bonny.
Everyone said that I was funny.
I spent everyone's money.
Our subjects were not thrilled. I was the sad one,
and I was the bad one.
I was the mad one,
and I was the fat one. We were born to rule over you. Georges,
1,
3, 4,
and 2.
Pachacuti.
Yeah.
We've got to address the issues with Pachacuti.
We've got to address the issues with the entire first 5 seasons, which is white people playing Egyptians and Incans and Aztecs.
Yeah.
With significantly darkened skins in some cases. Yeah.
I'm Pachacuti, the Incan lord, all other tribes dreaded. My name means he who shakes the earth, not that I'm big-headed. When it comes to claiming nearby lands, I was the type to risk it. But it's how I treat dead enemies that really took the biscuit. I drink from their skull, pull out their teeth whole, turn teeth into charms, make flutes out of their arms.
However,
I'm not sure how to address...
Pachacuti slaps.
Pachacuti is like... So each song past Series 1 is based on, like, a genre or a band.
Yeah, or
an artist.
Or an actual song.
Or an actual... Yeah, just one song.
Rara Cleopatra.
Rara Cleopatra.
I wonder what that's based on.
Yeah. Or Changes, the Evolution song.
Yes.
Famous beauty coming at ya. Guys all go gaga for me, yo. I am a leader and a lady and a queen. I'm Cleopatra, such a queen never been seen.
People thought all animals arrived here unrelated. The world began and then came man, all perfectly created. But then someone looked up a tree and said that monkey looks just like me.
So all the songs were written by Richie Webb, he composed all the music for that show, and he played a lot of the instruments in the recordings because he's so good at replicating other artists' styles. Like in the Smiths song, which was about Charles Dickens because he's miserable.
Yes.
The guitar, like the Johnny Marr style guitar playing, was him because he's just very, very good.
For a time I went to school, but then I found a job as a clerk to a lawyer. Oh, it made my poor head throb. I failed to be an actor despite my loud gob. Ended up reporting speeches of the parliamentary mob.
On screen, he was the piano player in the sort of lounge-style Shakespeare song.
Yeah.
So that's him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But in Series 1, the songs are not quite as developed as...
No, but the Four King Georges is brilliant.
That's the only
Isn't
one...
Isn't Pachacuti Series 1?
Series 2, I think.
Is it?
I think
Okay.
so. Four King Georges was the only one in Series 1 that actually was based on... was a parody. And it was like a parody of like Westlife, Boyzone, Take That Light.
Four men sitting on a stool on a stage, they're a boy band.
Yeah, they're a boy band.
Yeah.
But all the other songs in Series 1 are like, they're so cringe.
Yeah.
There's one about a Georgian lady getting all dressed up in a Georgian style and like describing the makeup that they used to wear.
Yeah.
And sometimes Arthur, friend of the pod, will...
who slagged off my attitude in his episode.
Oh, really?
So, Arthur, I will be coming for you.
Oh, right at the top you did. Yeah. You heard
Don't
that, Arthur.
you think I didn't listen to the first 5 minutes, Arthur?
And then switch off.
Well, he slagged me off already.
Did it convince you to want to watch Bratz?
No.
I thought not. Sometimes Arthur will just say to me, "A gorgeous Georgian lady," and I'll just break down because it is the worst Horrible Histories song.
A gorgeous Georgian lady is quite a sight to see. For some splendid beauty tips, pay attention, listen to me.
Poor Martha Howe Douglas.
Bless her. Bless her. She got some of the worst ones.
Rara Cleopatra.
It must be tough being the only woman in that.
Well, she isn't the only woman.
No, in that group. I mean,
in the group,
it might not be. She might love it, but I feel like it means she takes a lot on.
Well, in Yonderland, she was the straight woman with all the other people like playing all the mad characters around her.
Yeah,
and she got to play one character, and they got to play like 60 each or something. Yeah. She's got my dream job.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to do what she does?
Yeah. But then again, if I had to choose any of them, it wouldn't be Martha. If I had to be one of them.
Oh, yeah? It would be Larry, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, before we move on, Broke, Matt Bainton is the fit one. Woke, Ben Milbond is the fit one. Bespoke, Larry Rickard is the fit one.
Hashtag tag yourself. And I will tell... There are 3 of us in this flat, and none of us fancy the same member of this... We all have a different man.
Well, no, you're right. Like, even in the Dick Whittington song, in which Matt Bainton is objectively at his most attractive with his like guy liner and stuff and his cape, I still fancy Ben more in that video.
Everyone thinks they know the story of Dick Turpin's highway glory, but my past is far more gory. Was no saint. You think life is one big antic. My profession is romantic. Hate to be pedantic, but it ain't. I became a highwayman. Was daylight robbery? I was no Prince Charming. Nothing dandy about me.
I can't relate because I think that Lawrence Rickard is the most attractive.
I know, like when...
And I also think, I think you're the most talented as well, Larry. I think you're really good.
He's so fucking brilliant, isn't he?
I will take that back. I think they're all very, very good at what they do. They're all very good at different things, and I love you all equally. But if I had to choose one of you to look at forever... Larry, I choose you.
When he was young, he looks a bit like white Jesus.
Yeah. I've seen... Yeah. Yeah.
He had like this long flowing hair.
Yeah.
While we're talking about white Jesus, while I remember, should we talk about the racial problematic stuff?
Yeah, go back to that, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to address it because I don't
really know how to address it. All we can really say is that it wouldn't...
Thing bad.
What?
Thing bad.
Thing bad wouldn't happen now.
Yeah.
Don't imagine any of them support
that. Well, it doesn't happen now because they've recast, for the specials they've recast it.
Can't speak on behalf of people, don't support it, but it happened.
2009 to 2014 was that
Not
those
ideal.
times,
Yeah.
What other songs are in series 1? There's the one where Jim explains how to make a mummy.
Yeah.
There's the one in the classroom where...
I like the mummy one, actually.
There's the It's Not True one, with the policeman.
With the policeman, yeah, no.
It's so
with Martha
cringe.
and Matt, right?
Yeah, and like 4 school children, and they're the class.
Yeah, private school.
Yeah, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sure, because they've got like an exclusive thing going on.
Yeah.
Or they're the tweenies.
I honestly can't really bring any others to mind, to be honest.
No,
So-
the early ones, no.
Yeah. What's your favourite?
My favourite, oh God, for emotional reasons, obviously For King George's is like
really good,
nostalgic.
Yeah.
In terms of like how much they sound like the things they're parodying, the Simon and Garfunkel one.
It really, really does sound and look like
their voices.
like
It's
Simon
incredible.
and Garfunkel. Yeah, it's really good. I hate Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, that's where we disagree.
That's all I need
but
to say.
Yeah, we don't agree.
It's
on
good,
that.
but I hate it.
Yeah.
We Vikings have an awful reputation with your nation. But when we'd finished plundering and pillages, made nice villages, any place name ending Thorpe or Kirk or B was us, you see. Scunthorpe, Ormskirk, Weatherby, Scarborough Fair, we named them, yeah.
The Smiths really sounds like the Smiths.
I also hate the Smiths.
Yeah, I know, we don't. That's another thing we disagree on.
I was in the car on the way back from the airport a couple of weeks ago, and the radio was on, and I think this is the first time I've ever sat and listened to Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now
Great
from
song.
beginning to end. And I actually text our other housemate a quote of the lyrics, and I said, "What a ridiculous song. This doesn't make any sense."
What was that? I was looking for a job and then I found a job and Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. How can you not love that? I mean, Morrissey is different.
Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now is the one about the bus, right?
No, that's
Oh, okay.
There Is a Light That Never Goes On. The one about the bus.
Is that what it's called? There Was a Light That Never...
Yeah.
Okay,
There
right.
Is
It
a
wasn't
Light
Heaven Knows
That
I'm
Never
Miserable.
Goes Out.
Yeah, it was that one. And the bit where he's like, I don't want to go home because I don't have a home anymore or whatever. He's
Yeah.
Fucking shut up.
I mean, they are extremely whiny, but I think it's good music.
I like Johnny Marr a lot.
Yeah, well, you have to. You've got nothing else to cling on to if you like
No.
the Smiths. I mean, he's the only thing that
Anyway,
keeps
we can
anyone
stop
listening.
talking about me now if you want.
Well, I think the Aretha Franklin one
Yeah.
is a really,
Yeah.
really good one.
Agreed.
That's about sitting on a bus.
Mhm.
Dominique Moore is amazing in
Yes, agreed.
I sat on a bus. You sat on a bus. I sat on a bus. You sat on a bus. You wanna know why? I sat on that bus. You sat on a bus. In the 50s, our bus is divided. Whites in front, blacks behind. You serious? If the bus filled up, we had to give up our seats or we'd be fined. That's ludicrous. I made a stand in my hometown, Montgomery, Alabama. That's dangerous. Refused to stand for a white man, so they put me in the slammer. December 5, 1955, my trial notorious. Black people stood side by side, and no one got on the bus. We stayed off the bus. They stayed off the bus.
The Kate Bush one.
Which one's that?
That's the one where Sarah Hadland plays Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's really good.
great.
Yeah.
But one of my favourite ones, I think, because it's a genuinely good song, and I find it quite emotional because they did it with a full orchestral arrangement at the proms, was the Viking one.
The Viking
We're
one
Going
is right,
Home.
yeah.
Because in that video, they all look amazing.
Yeah.
They look like they're having the time of their lives.
Mm.
And it's just great. And I mean, the proms, all of the proms was quite emotional because they were so well regarded at that point that they were allowed to do the proms.
Oh, let me in now, won't you please? We're here to raid your monastery. We're primed and ready to attack. And we love how monsters don't fight back. You'll die or become a slave to me. So our slaves out to get you in the sea. Yeah. Leave the boats heavy. Yeah, yeah. You're gonna lose your head, my friend. We're gonna get ya in the end. Thanks, Ragnar.
Yeah, that is some.
And in series 4, they got such a sort of respect in the culture that they were allowed to do a song about the few, the fighter pilots.
Yeah,
that's a really.
I've forgotten about that one. It's really good.
It's really good, and it's like it's not just purely funny. It's actually like it's all about remembrance, basically.
My favourite part of that one is
the uniforms.
No, is watching them getting the choreography wrong, and yet clearly limits on filming time meant they didn't really have a choice. Because if you sit and watch it, and you're actually looking at the backing dancers. I'm sorry, guys, versus Jim and Ben. Larry.
Yeah. Whole fire is dancing with foreign chaps risking their necks.
That's right, some of the bravest men were Polish and Czech. We like to fire, beating Jerry, our one desire. Yeah. All we do each night is pray we'll live to fight another day. Take that, Hitler. So I think you'll find it's true.
Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few.
Should we talk about why why we both love Marcus Licinius Crassus so much? Because we haven't. You're right, this is objectively the best one because of how were they allowed to get away with it? So it was one of Simon's very few solos.
He's not very involved in the music. Do you think that's because he's stupid deaf, or do you think that's because of he's the most busy?
I mean, he's a movie star now.
He's the one with other friends.
No, like they're not. Like two of them, I would say Matt and Jim are like quite good singers, and the rest do really well with what they're given.
Jim is a very good singer.
Yeah, and Matt's in a band, I think, or he was in a band.
I think Jim's better.
Yeah,
I think he's the musically gifted one here. The rest of them make do.
They make do, and poor Martha,
I mean, that's not bad, but...
doing Rah Rah Cleopatra at the proms.
Yeah,
it's like they hated that woman.
Bless her.
She did so well.
Boudica was a banger, though.
Boudica was great. What was that like? A sort of it was like the Ting Tings.
Colchester, London, St Albans. Everybody talk about dead Romans.
We marched on up the Roman road that's known as Watling Street. They trapped us in the forest, then thrashed us to our defeat. By now you've guessed I'm not the kind of gal who'll sit and cry. Be sold as slave to Romans, you know I'd rather die. They tried to take me prisoner, so I led the Roman boys on. Instead of giving in to them, I swallowed special poison.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Marcus Licinius Crassus is the best because it's
It was us last Friday. Last Saturday, sorry.
It's a take on
Dizzy Rascal.
Bonkers.
And
it's Bonkers, and it's got Simon, and then
it's got like a fisheye lens on Simon.
Ben and Larry are like Pompey and Caesar, I think, and
that's right.
Is Jim in it as well?
They're all in it.
It's basically a house party at an emperor's, palace.
Yeah.
But they all look genuinely fucked. Like, not pretend fucked. They look, we've taken something fucked.
Because Simon...
If you went into a club in Brixton and looked around, they would have the same... people in those clubs would have the same expressions on their faces that they have in that music video.
There's Romans think they're minted, but they ain't rich like me. You can't call yourself loaded till you can buy an army. Ran Rome with Pompey and Caesar, they're more famous than me. But I'm the world's richest geezer, there's no one richer than me. I'm minted. I back General Sulla. Every day my wallet got fuller. Took the land off enemies to flog it. Use the cash to fill my pocket. If I heard of a house on fire, I'd rush over, be a quick cash buyer. My firemen would then douse the flames. Boom, another big house to my name.
like Simon Farnaby has quite beady eyes anyway. Like, like on the best days, he looks slightly manic.
Yeah.
But in this video, like, I can just hear a director saying, "Simon, can you stop chewing?" Because, like, you know that he wants to put that as part of his performance. It just makes too much sense. But they look... There's nothing
it's not
behind the eyes.
It's not going to make it to air if you do that.
But you can see him wanting to. Like, it's...
I'd love to speak to them about the
It's so impressive.
And I would be so disappointed if they were like, no, nothing happened.
So I really love that entire cast. They're basically my childhood.
Yeah.
Like, for a long time, I've loved all of them individually and as a group, because they didn't know each other before Horrible Histories.
No.
Like, a lot of their chemistry is so good that a lot of people thought that they were the people that created it together in the beginning, but no, they were like Little Mix, or like what's another
One Direction.
One Direction. Yeah. So a couple of them knew each other from like the comedy scene generally, but they never worked together or whatever. And then in series 1, they didn't really know what was the vibe of the show. They were like, what is this? And then they did a caveman scene, and one of them started acting like a normal sort of like middle-class man, and they thought it was I think it was Jim, but yeah.
Well, no, they have this in the sketch in the first series with the Neanderthals versus the...
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they were like, oh, it's like we can do adult comedy and it works and it's good. And they all started getting really close. And by series 2, like, they were just very good friends. And when Horrible Histories ended, they were like, what? So they made Yonderland together, which we might talk about another time. We're running out of time now, but...
It's not really a kids' show, but...
Yonderland is a family show.
Is it?
It's a family show, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it is, because...
We'll pick out the bits of that show that I don't think are for kids.
Well, yeah, but, like, it's like panto logic. Like, it's stuff you could get away with because it goes over the heads of kids.
Yeah.
Like, you'd sit down with your family and watch it. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ghost is the same, really.
Hiya, fashion fans, and welcome to another historical fashion fix. This week, a Tudor peasant will be swapping sackcloth for silk in an amazing makeover. So let's meet our grubby commoner. It's Pete. Are you ready, Pete?
No.
Then let's get started. Right, first things first, we need to do something about that horrible hair. Am I right, Pete?
Okay.
Of course I am. So to help us out, I've invited a personal friend all the way from the 1500s. It's Tudor Barber Bob the Barber. She's here. Where'd you get this?
It's vintage.
Lovely. So, Bob, what are we going to do about Pete's horrible, horrible hair?
Well, I'm just going to do what I do to all Tudors who can afford a haircut. Basically, cut it all same length, just above the shoulder. I call it the bob, after myself. There we are, all done.
Thanks, Bob. You look fierce, Pete. Apart from that hideous wart, I can't stop looking at it. Luckily, we've got a surgeon who can get rid. It's Tudor surgeon Bob the surgeon.
Bob? I thought he was a barber.
Oh no, all Tudor barbers were surgeons too. You know, hair, limbs, it's all cutting, isn't it?
What?
While I remember something that I enjoy about the ABBA song is how many ABBA lyrics they fit into 2 minutes.
That is, it happens a few times. Like, I mean, the Simon and Garfunkel one.
Gimme crown and take a chance on me. I'm heir to the throne, not you. Aha. Like, oh, it's so good. Yeah, the Simon and Garfunkel one.
Yeah, it's got some of
As I got
yeah.
older, I noticed more and more and more.
Yeah, because you became more and more and more of a loser.
No, that's not true. I just no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just started listening to more of Paul Simon's solo stuff, and I started recognising stuff from that they'd thrown in as well.
Okay.
Well, you like Paul Simon.
Yeah.
On his own.
Well, I mean, he does have some racist
Yeah.
bits.
Yeah, man goes
So
to
I
South
don't-
Africa once and makes a whole
I
album
don't really
about
want
it.
to be known as, oh, she really likes Paul Simon.
No one's going to know you.
She's just condemned the browning up of actors, but she really likes Paul Simon.
Did you know that there's not a comedy duo? No, they might be a comedy duo, but they're like mainly a music duo, and they're called Garfunkel and Oates.
That's good.
It is good, isn't it? Yeah, I like that they went with the second one for each bit. Yeah.
Hall and Simon.
Hall and it doesn't work as much as Garfunkel and Oates is really
good,
funny.
Yeah.
I haven't had my wig stolen. You lot in the Shires are so behind the times. Everyone in town knows the fashion's changing. It's fast becoming deeply unfashionable to wear a wig at all.
I knew that. Wigs are so passé. But Cumberland, you just... Frimlington, you look ridiculous. Wiggy, 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 wiggy.
Shut up, all right? Just shut up. Shut up so much.
I thought you were my friend.
Would you say that there are bits of Horrible Histories where I'm thinking of one specific bit that we all kind of watched and lost our minds at that are like slightly homoerotic?
Very, very homoerotic.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the key.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the key.
Yeah. Are you going to put the clip in here?
I am going to, but it's kind of difficult to convey the tension in the room without the visuals.
I know. The thing is, there's homoerotic tension, and then I remember us watching this together, and I hadn't seen it before, and I spat out my drink when I saw what? And then I rewound it. I was like, did I watch that right?
Yeah.
Was this aired on British children's TV?
It's difficult for me to talk about homoerotic tension right now because in the last couple of days, we both... Meg just gave me... She just blinked, like, what?
I have no idea where she's going with this.
You do.
I don't know how to talk about homoerotic tension at the minute.
Harder. So we have both very recently watched Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, yeah. I'd forgotten about that, to be honest, because here's the thing. Laura said that she then watched...
Queen of the Damned.
A bit of Queen of the Damned to see if it was as bad as she remembered. It was worse. You said that you'd been thinking about it. I enjoyed it. Was a bit of a romp to watch, but I stopped thinking about it the minute I stepped out of that room, and I haven't thought about it since.
Well, what I've been thinking about a lot is the fact that it's Anne Rice who wrote the book. So this is like a very... This is nothing to do... Yeah, but I've been thinking about it. It's been on my mind. She wrote the books.
We want the listeners to get to know us as well.
Yeah, she wrote the books.
Yes.
She wrote the screenplay.
Yes.
And has famously said, stop saying that my books are gay. They're not gay.
Well,
the film is not gay.
That, then.
And it's like, but you allowed what happened on that screen to happen. Like, Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt's faces were like millimeters away from each other at any given point, really.
Yeah.
And you wrote that, so why are you... I've just been thinking about this because it's like, it's humorous to me.
She also sued people for writing fan fiction.
Yeah. Fan fiction,
or
famously...
I don't know if she can...
Famously straight endeavour.
That'll be... I mean, if it was a load of straight fan fiction, she probably wouldn't have sued people.
Do you think?
Yeah, but
weird,
she's just
isn't
a massive homophobe. Like,
what are sketches from Horrible Histories that like stick in your mind the most?
Anything with a caveman.
Do you have a favourite era? Actually, sorry, I'm jumping around from topic to topic.
I don't really know. Do you?
I like the war ones because... Sorry, my voice is gross. I like the war ones because I like the sort of posh English, like...
Yeah.
That kind of 40s, 30s, like radio wireless accent that they have. I enjoy that.
Something that we quote quite a lot in this house is Farmer with a home.
Farmer with a home.
Yeah, we love that.
So we're going from like very old to very recent. And there are two favourites.
I'm a farmer.
A farmer?
Yes, a farmer. I farm stuff. Basically, I just got fed up of chasing animals about the countryside, never staying in the same place twice. So I set myself up a home here.
A home?
Yeah, a home. This could take a while. Yes, I live here. I have plenty of livestock in my paddock, and whenever I need meat, I just go over and kill it.
What? You don't have to chase after it?
No, it's tied up.
That's cool.
quite like the sound of being a farmer with a home.
And I plant and grow all my own vegetables.
Vegetables?
Vegetables.
Vegetables?
Like cabbage and spinach and onions and carrots and garlic. Look, try this.
No, I don't like it.
I used to enjoy it more, and now I watch the Inca ones and I'm like, that's not okay.
It's hard because sometimes they're very funny. That's the thing, is that the
Pachacuti is a good song.
It slaps. It's
because
a
what
banger.
they're parodying in Pachacuti is novelty holiday songs.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it called?
Agadoo,
Agadoo, yeah.
But I don't know, it is just...
What can you do?
What can you do?
You want to say, like, different times, but it was literally 2009. Like,
I used to quite like I've forgotten his name. The ones where Ben is the reporter. I quite liked those.
Mike Peabody. Yeah.
And obviously, Stupid Deaths.
Obviously, of course, Stupid Deaths. Yeah. People that are not...
My dad does a really good impression of Stupid Deaths.
Oh,
as
really?
Well. Yeah.
I'd like to hear it.
Well, he won't do it for you. He's not your dad. I can't just ring him up and get him to perform. He won't do it. My dad has got such a history and reputation of pretending to be normal in front of my friends. He's got like this bit that he does sometimes where he plays like the air tuba, like he makes the noise like and does the arms like a tuba. And one time when I was in secondary school, I had a friend over and I asked my dad to do the air tuba. My dad was like, "What are you talking about? Don't be ridiculous." I also
calling
the same,
you a liar,
the same
basically.
friend one time was over and we were having like fish and chips or something, and I watched my dad dip a chip in a tub of clover, which is
what?
Butter replacement.
I know what clover is.
Just for the listeners at home, in case I don't know, it's a butter replacement. It's like a margarine type thing. And I said, "What the fuck are you doing? Do you dip that chip in that butter?" My dad was like, "No, what are you talking about?" In front of this friend, just to make me look like a stupid idiot.
Wow, Paul.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm sure as soon as he's listened to this episode, I'll have messages like, "No, that's not how it happened.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't do that."
No, my
did,
dad's
Paul,
just
you
like
did.
a different kind of weird when my friends are over.
Your dad's well weird.
In a good way?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's weird, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's a funny guy.
One time,
funny
me
drunk.
and one of Else's friends, and
my dad.
Your dad. I mean, I would go, dare I say, one of my friends as well. I would count.
Yeah, he would. Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Adrian.
Fuck me.
Yeah, no,
Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine's your friend. Adrian is also your friend, I would say. He'd consider himself a friend.
All right. Bit old for me, but whatever.
Oh, Jasmine, the girl we're talking about, by the way, is going to be on an episode very soon talking about my parents are aliens. So get
Fair
keen.
enough.
Go on.
Yeah. Went on a holiday together, and there were
The
very
four of us, yeah.
Yeah, there were very few of my friends' dads that I would want to go on holiday with, but I've done it with our other housemate as well.
Yeah, that's because he paid for all of it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Adrian did as well, but it was very different price ranges from Singapore to a caravan site in the Yorkshire
I
Dales.
enjoyed wandering around in the the Yorkshire Dales with you and your dad and Jasmine.
It was a lovely time, wasn't it? It was really nice.
Anyway, Adrian, I hope you're all right.
And I don't know any of you, see? So to avoid any misunderstandings, I'm gonna tell you how I runs things on my boat. Bones, the rule book. Rule 1, fighting.
No fighting.
Hey?
It's antisocial, and it's a good way to lose an eye, isn't it, Mulligan? So there'll be none of that. If you have a quarrel, you settle it on shore like gentlemen. Is that clear?
Rule 2, game.
There'll be no games. I don't want to see any gambling on my ship. Save your money for a rainy day, people. After all, if you look after your pieces of 8, your doubloons will look after themselves, won't they, gents? Okay.
Rule 3.
We settle everything democratically.
We take a little vote, and if you don't want to do it, we won't do it. No one's going to force you. As for treasure, we divide that up equally. No squabbling about treasure, boys. Come, come.
Also, speaking of, if I'm not going to be in the My Parents Are Aliens episode, I should point out that my boyfriend thinks I sound like the mum in my... And I don't know which one, because I've seen very little of it, but the one that's from Manchester.
Yes, that's from series 1 and 2.
Because I did have to point out that I am not from Manchester.
No.
So, and I don't sound like I am.
I don't think you sound anything like the mum from My Parents Are Aliens, either of them.
Thank you.
I mean, I adore the first one. I think she's an absolute treasure. But I love you too, but in a different way.
Oh, cheers.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to show that love by making you a salad.
Thank you, and I might have some.
Right,
Are there any fish fingers going in this salad?
Yeah,
Elsie, last night, Elsie sent me a message on my way home asking me to pick up wraps for her because she was going to have like a fish finger and salad
like tortilla wraps, yeah.
Yeah, and she, unfortunately, had stepped off the bus the second I saw this message and I wasn't going back. So she had what was like a deconstructed wrap, which was basically a fish finger salad in a bowl.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
You've got your omega-3s. You've got
your lettuces.
You got your batter.
Oh, was it butter or was it breadcrumbs?
Well, it was breadcrumbs,
I take
wasn't
issue
it?
with this because definitely I think breadcrumbed fish fingers are better, but the battered ones are cheaper. Because you can get both.
Yeah.
But the breadcrumb ones are more expensive.
Well, tune in next week and we'll carry
more
this
random
conversation
shit at
on
you.
further. Thank you for listening.
Anyway, listeners, what do you prefer? Breaded or battered fish fingers? We'll put a poll up on the Instagram
Send us a
account.
picture of you and your fish fingers.
Send us a picture of you and your fish fingers. If you don't eat meat or
fish,
then breaded probably, because I don't think that they do buttered vegan ones.
Ah, right, okay.
So
gap in the market.
You don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But that your only choice is the better option anyway.
Oh, it's a new world. It wasn't new to the natives. Still, we thought we'd claim it. Yeah, it's the new
I still remember 9th of November, the year 1620, and we saw plenty of land. We thank God when we found ground at Cape Cod, but it didn't go as planned.
Couldn't land on the sand. A month later, though, we made it. New Plymouth, man, we claimed it. The natives said not, but ran when we shot.
Moved there, it proved, yeah, that life would be tough, cause we didn't have enough of the right stuff. Did you know, had no seeds we could grow, although William Mullins had stacked 126 pairs of shoes in his pack. Now that's whack.
A fishing rod, a plough, a pig or a cow would have been a much better idea, but now there's no food for us to eat. Does this mean that we'll meet with defeat?
No fun in the new world. I'm glad we've arrived here, but will we survive here?
When I'm doing the socials, I might focus on the email.
Please send us an email.
Yeah, I mean, you know all the Twitter and Instagram. It's at @thoughts__TV on Twitter and @ThoughtsTV, but the O is a 0 on Instagram. But
on email,
it's ThoughtsTV. Or did I say TotsTV when I was doing the
No,
Instagram?
you said
okay.
Thoughts.
Yeah, email is thoughtstv2002@gmail.com. Why not send us an email?
Please.
It's
I mean,
an underutilised
we've had
form
some
of
emails
engagement
before, but they've always been complaints.
From
I
the
have
same
to point
person.
out that in the last episode I said a fish breathes by sucking oxygen in and like holding it or something. And then I got a text from our resident complainer telling me that that's not how fish breathe. I'm like, I'm not fucking stupid. I know that now.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. I need to get up now, mate.
Good evening.
Good evening.